Good morning to one and all. Today let's begin with lesson number 4, Nutrition in Living Organisms. Nutrition. As we all aware of, we get several types of nutritions from foodstuffs. Nutrition can be classified into two types. Macronutrients such as carbohydrates, proteins and fats. As we all know, our body required this type of constituent more. So macronutrients means a nutrient which required in a large quantity. Whereas another one is a micronutrients which are required but in a little less quantity. They are minerals and vitamins. The process of taking in and using food which takes place in living organisms is called nutrition. Let's see what is the need for nutrition. To supply the energy required for doing work. Student, whatever the work we are doing throughout the day, to do that work we require energy. And that energy we'll get when we eat proper nutritious food. Second, growth and development of the body. The person grows from the childhood to adult. As we all know, growth is a very important characteristic of living thing, and that will get fulfilled when we'll get a proper nutritious food. Third, to replace the damaged cell and repair tissues. When we had fracture or any other problems, our body will be fit and fine within few days if we are taking a proper nutrition. To fight against diseases. Now let's continue with the next mode of nutrition in plants. So there are two modes of nutrition in plants. One, autotrophic mode of nutrition, where the organism can be produce their own food. And second one is a heterotrophic mode of nutrition, where the organisms depends on other organisms, plants or animals for their food. So now let's begin with the first one, that is autotrophic nutrition. Autotrophic plants. How do plants produce their own foods? Plants can produce their own food with the help of sunlight and chlorophyll. Plants make their own food in the leaves using water and nutrients from the soil and carbon dioxide from the air. This process is called photosynthesis. So the reaction form 6CO2, that is carbon dioxide, plus 6H2O, water, in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll to form glucose, 6H12O6 plus 6O2, that is oxygen. Plants convert into light energy to chemical energy and store it in the form of food. Water, minerals and salt are absorbed by the root from the soil. The stem transports them up to the leaves. The leaves have the microscopic opening called stomata, through which they take in carbon dioxide from the air. Chloroplasts present in the leaves contain chlorophyll. Student, you know about the chlorophyll. So this chlorophyll contains chloroplast. It absorbs sunlight, helping to convert carbon dioxide and water into food. In this process, oxygen is given out. Beside leaves, photosynthesis takes place in some other parts like green stems, as they contain chlorophyll. There are some plants like cactus where instead of leaves, stems does the work of photosynthesis. Now next part, transport system in plants. Let's take one experiment. Step 1. Take a pumpkin stem having 2 to 3 leaves. Step 2. Cut it under the water with a sharp blade. Take some water in a flask. Add 7 to 8 drops of ink into it. Step 4. Put the pumpkin stem vertically in that flask. Just observe after one day. See the changes in the plant. So why it's happened? The transport system of plant consists of xylem and phloem. The xylem transports mineral and water from root to all the aerial parts of the plants. See, the xylem and phloem is inside the plants. So xylem is doing the work of that to transport the minerals and water from the root to all the parts of the plants. Whereas the phloem transports the food from the leaves to the other parts of the plant where it is either consumed or stored. So what phloem is doing, once the food is formed with the help of photosynthesis, to supply that food to all the parts of the plants. So that work is done by phloem. They do not have, plant do not have a separate digestive or the excretory system the way we have. Plants produces carbohydrates by the process of photosynthesis. Carbohydrates are made from carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Student, the way our body is required carbohydrate, a very important constituent, same way even the plants required carbohydrate for their growth. And through that carbohydrate they get carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, and that they mainly get it from the air. Along with carbohydrate, plants also need proteins. Proteins are made from carbon, hydrogen, oxygen and nitrogen. How do plants obtain the nitrogen necessary for the synthesis of protein? Student, we all are aware of that in the environment nitrogen contains 78%. Okay, but how plant gets that nitrogen? Air contains gaseous nitrogen. However, plants cannot use a gaseous nitrogen. See, nitrogen is present in the environment in the gaseous form, but plant cannot use that nitrogen. It need to be fixed, that is converted into compound. Only nitrogen they cannot use. They use a nitrogen as a compound, like we are putting the fertilizer. So the fertilizer is contain ammonia. Ammonia is contain nitrogen. So that is called as a compound. So fixation of nitrogen occurs by biological and atmospheric method. See, here is a atmospheric nitrogen that is to be converted into ammonia, and then nitrite and nitrate. Now how all these things happen? Let's see. Two different types of microorganisms can bring about biological nitrogen fixation. Now you may get surprised that how microorganisms are doing this work. Yes, but there are some microorganisms, they are useful microorganisms. And here the useful microorganisms are helping to do the biological fixation of nitrogen. See, you can see the roots, and there you will see the name of the microorganism. So it is rhizobium microorganisms. That rhizobium microorganisms are present in the root nodules. You will see that hair-like structure in root. So that is called as a root nodules. So root nodules of leguminous plants. Leguminous plant means the plant which is contain all the parts of the plants. They contain rhizobium microorganism. What is the name of the bacteria or microorganism? Rhizobium microorganism. And they are converted converting the nitrogen into nitrate. This microorganism absorb atmospheric nitrogen and convert it into nitrates, that is a compound. Microorganism like Azotobacter. Azotobacter is another type of microorganism, also help for biological fixation. They also convert atmospheric nitrogen into nitrates. See. Another way for the nitrogen fixation is atmospheric fixation of nitrogen. Student, are you all aware of this situation? Yes, it is lightning. So this lightning occurs in the rainy season, is help for the atmospheric fixation of nitrogen. Lightning causes atmospheric nitrogen and oxygen to react with each other to form nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is what? NO. It is one compound. This nitric oxide, which is again oxidized to form nitrogen dioxide. Now oxidize means it is react with oxygen. Oxygen is present in the environment. So this NO, that is nitric oxide, react with oxygen. So one more oxygen is added over there. So it is formed NOO. So that is to be written as nitrogen dioxide. Di means two, oxide means oxygen. So nitrogen dioxide. This nitrogen dioxide CNOO means NO2 is react with rainwater. Rainwater means H2O to form. So you can see there HN, and this time how many O's are there? 3. So it is HNO3. That is called as nitric acid. This nitric acid mixed with a rainwater and it is fall on the ground. Can you see this nitric acid fallen everywhere? So that is called as a acid rain, through which the plants use this nitrogen. So here are the equations. First equation is what? N, that is nitrogen, is react with the oxygen to form nitric oxide. Then this nitric oxide is react again oxidize, means it is react with oxygen again to form NO2, that is nitrogen dioxide. This nitrogen dioxide again react with rainwater, that is H2O, to form HNO3. HNO3 means what? Nitric